Welcome to another Bandology interview. Bandology is a Canadian nonprofit dedicated to more music for more kids via education, collaboration, and community.
Hi everybody, and welcome to a Bandology staff showcase. I am super excited to be here with some of our wonderful, we call them the bio team, or they like to call themselves the boys, but they are business innovation and operations people, and I am super excited to introduce them to you. My name is Sandy Wright. I am the education manager at Bandology and the long-suffering host of What's Your Forte. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Jasmin, Kathryn, and Julianna. Say hi, guys.
Hello. Hey.
Let's go through and just you guys introduce yourself, tell us a little about yourself and what you do at Bandology. Jasmin?
Hello, my name is Jasmin. So I am the operations manager at Bandology. I used to go to Guelph University. That feels like such a long time ago, but it was like 2-3 years ago. But I feel like an old person now. At Bandology, well, I guess I should talk about Guelph first. So at Guelph, I did arts and science degree. And then so that was in neuroscience and music. And then in Bandology, my first year at Bandology, I was the research person. So that's where the neuroscience came in handy. And then I stayed on for another year and slowly became the operations manager. And I basically do like the financials and other operational stuff that we need.
You're basically the reason we are able to run still is the key thing there.
And hopefully continue.
Yes, fingers crossed. Julianna, introduce yourself to our wonderful audience.
I am Julianna, obviously. I am the innovation coordinator, which means I'm in charge of researching, developing, and implementing new ways to ensure long-term sustainability at the company. Things like research and training. And I have a BA from Mount Allison University, which again was a while ago, so I don't really remember it.
It's all the pre-pandemic schooling, just like it feels like it was another lifetime ago. I was in school and I'm like, I don't remember going to grad school. I forgot what happened. It's all an imagination. And last but certainly not least, Kathryn, introduce yourself.
I'm Kathryn. I am in school right now, so I go to Queen's University, and I'm the business coordinator at Bandology. So I kind of do some of the behind-the-scenes work for camp, and I also do some more longer-term projects as well.
Yes, and you're one of our frequent, but rare in that we actually have you as an employee, one of our first ex-campers that now works here, which is super exciting. We're just going to produce an entire work staff by the time we're 10 years old. It's just going to be, the entire crew is going to be ex-campers. So I want to sort of get to know a little bit. You've told us about what you do. Now we want to introduce yourself to the audience. Everyone you're going to see in these staff showcases is going to be at camp, hanging out, playing music, doing a ton of stuff, and also just on other Bandology stuff we're doing. You've probably seen some of our faces on TikToks. I know you've seen this view being late to a meeting on one of our TikToks. So tell me, guys, for you, what is I don't know, let's start with a sort of simple one. What is an instrument you wish you played? And also, if you play an instrument, tell us what it is, sort of frame the question. Let's start with Jasmin again. Let's go the same order every time. Jasmin.
So the current instrument that I play is the piano. I've been playing that for a few years. And I learned a little bit of trumpet in high school. I like to pretend I'm a trumpeter, but who knows? And the instrument I would like to play is the harmonica. It just feels so fun and movable. You can't really move a piano.
Yes, it's definitely a pocket instrument. You can just sort of go I've got a harmonica. That feels scary, though, if you just whip out a harmonica. Hello.
That's the point.
Terrify, scary busking. That's your new business strategy. That's the next way we improve the operations. Mm-hmm. Julianna.
I used to play the Barry saxophone, which is very difficult to bring anywhere. But what instrument I really would want to play is the piano, which seems really basic, but it's kind of hard to practice when you don't have one.
Yes, it is definitely hard to manage with that. There's no way to sort of learn piano where you're well, I have a fake, have those fake clarinets and fake flutes where you can kind of learn the basics. You can't super do that with piano. You need a lot. Unless you want one of those dinky little ones that's this big and you can hold in one hand. I taught a kid with one of those. She got a new piano within a couple months. It was great. I was thank God. Kathryn, tell us a bit about what you play, what you'd like to play.
Sure. Yeah. So I played the oboe in elementary school and high school, and I actually play the piano as well, and I really want to play the bagpipes. I don't know. I feel like it would be a lot of noise, and I'm not sure if the people I live with would enjoy that. But why not?
Honestly, that's the boldest choice I've heard, and I've asked that question a lot. That's like the strong choice. I love it. Please do it in another city. But I want you to do it, and torture the denizens of Oakville and surround. Next question. We're sort of doing a little bit of a fast five here, but what is your guys' collective individual favorite movie soundtracks?
Moana. Fantastic soundtrack. I probably know all the words, even though I don't know some of the language.
Good answer. Very solid. Not the first time I've heard it. It's a very strong soundtrack. Julianna.
I said the Shrek soundtrack once as a joke, but I stand by that. There's some very good songs on there.
Shrek 2, though.
Also
Shrek
a very
2 ramps
solid
it up.
soundtrack.
Very solid. Accidentally in Love. Very underrated.
And I've got to go with Jasmin on this one. Moana really takes the cake here. It's definitely, just the best soundtrack out there.
Strong. I love the consistency. Moana is has taken over a little bit of Disney soundtracks from when I was a kid versus now. Moana is people thought it would be Frozen, but it's Moana has ingrained itself in a generation, I think. Question sort of continuing on that theme of media. What's the last sort of thing you guys binge? TV, movies, books. Books also count.
So for me, it was the first Law trilogy. So it's I can't remember the author's name, but it's reading a bunch of people, basically a bunch of burly guys just fighting a bunch is the best description of it. And then at the same time, you're wow, these are very nice people, it's very strange. You're enjoying just being these are just regular old folk. And then meanwhile, they're super tough and fighting a bunch. And you're nope, their commentary in their head is I'm your average Joe. And it's fantastic.
I'm blanking on the author. My brain wants to say John Gwynne, but that's
same.
But he's a different grimdark author.
He is.
And I don't know who did it. Is his name Joe?
Joe Abercrombie, yes.
Joe Abercrombie,
Thank you.
Abercrombie and Fitch. That's what I think of.
Thank you.
Abercrombie and Fitch Law. Okay.
Great job.
Yeah, see, we're on the same page eventually.
Yeah. I just read John Gwynne too, so it was going in there.
Back to back. Julianna, what about you?
I don't think I know that book series. The latest thing I've been binging is I've been going through all of Bob's Burgers. One too many people recommended it to me, and so I'm on season 8.
And the movie's coming out. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. What about you, Kathryn?
And I watched a series on Netflix called Inventing Anna. It was really good. Highly recommend it. Definitely very interesting and something that I hadn't really seen before. So
yeah, I've heard about that show. I also heard because she's in court now. Spoilers. But people had to recuse themselves from court because they saw ads and they were I already know what she did. I can't be impartial because I've seen ads or started the show accidentally before I got called up, which is wild that we're in this. That's what's happening in the century. Apart from that, let's take it away from the media thing and move into sort of a little bit more about your enjoyment of music specifically. But what is the favorite concert you guys have ever attended? Rank them. If you have 2, that's fine. But just favorite concert, go.
So I'm a bit more introverted, so I don't go out to concerts. So I've only literally been to one concert, but it was Chance the Rapper. So it's my favorite. It was a great concert. It rained that night, so we had to stop it early, but we made it to the train because it stopped early. We made it to the last train. So I'm kind of worked out.
Honestly, if you're going to get a show rained out, that's a good reason. That's good. Yeah. That's a good bonus. And Chance is a great single concert. I do include if you saw a random, you were at a Labor Day celebration or something and you just saw a bar band doing covers, because I've seen some pretty great bar bands. So you don't have to go to super cool concerts to have it be your favorite. Julianna, what about you? What's your favorite of all the concerts you've ever been to?
Same, Jasmine. I've only been to like 3 big concerts. I got to see the Dixie Chicks, and I grew up on the Dixie Chicks' music. So that was an awesome experience.
Yeah, they changed their name. They're just the Chicks, I think, now.
Just the Chicks now, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I love them. When I was a kid and super into country music, they were like on top. It was so good. And then they just disappeared, and that was tragic.
Well, they have an excellent new album out like last year. The Tea.
The Tea. Kathryn, what about you? Have you also had a limited amount of concerts to choose from, or are you like a fiend?
Unfortunately, I do have a limited amount, but I think my favorite was Bryan Adams. I went with some family friends, and it was really fun. My mom knew more music than I did, but it was still really good. And I mean, I totally danced to Summer of '69. I got really excited for that song.
Well, yeah, it's the Canadian wedding song. If you're in a Canadian wedding and that doesn't get played, there's a problem. They're not Canadian. They're lying to you. I saw Bryan Adams, and he did Summer of '69. I don't know what had happened at your concert, because he went on for like 7 minutes of Summer of '69 to close.
I think he definitely came back out, but and played more music. But honestly, at this point, I don't remember. I think he just ended it and kept going with his new album. But it was still really good.
Awesome. That's it. He's a great concert. Cool. So last question is sort of like fun get to know you questions are, if you have a hidden talent, what is it?
I can crochet. So I like to make like these little things that are called amigurumi, but like they're just like, you can make like a little Squirtle out of crochet, or I made like it's from like this webtoon called Bee and Puppy Cat. So I made like a little angry cat looking thing. That's
awesome. You got to send us pictures of that. I want to see that.
They're not that good, but thank you.
So cute. So cute. What about you, Julianna?
I can juggle.
What?
My elementary school was like obsessed with juggling, and I was bad by the school standards, but good by most people's standards.
How have I've known you for a year, and I have never seen you juggle.
It's a hidden talent.
Oh, it's hidden because you don't want to show it. Okay, now I understand. It's hidden from the world, not just,
the opportunity to juggle doesn't just, come up every other day.
Yes. Unfortunately, you have now told us, which means you're going to do it at band camp. Kathryn, what about you?
Oh, I'm really struggling to think of one, but it might not be so much of a talent as a weird thing that nobody really knows, but I'm very double jointed in my thumbs. So it like really freaks people out when I show them, so I won't show you.
Also a thing you should show them at band camp, because that's always fun. So if you want to see someone juggle, come to band camp. What are you guys most excited for from band camp? Like because I know like all of us have been to band camp before now. So we've got like a lot of stuff to be like, hey, this is what I loved last year. What do I want to see again?
I am super excited to just interact with everyone and play the games. Like I had so much fun last year, just talking to all the kids and then just doing all the activities. Like I learned stuff. Like I learned what a paradiddle was, and I didn't know what that was before. So it was just a lot of fun. It was great. I'm excited just in general for band camp.
See, it's educational for some of us as well as as students of all ages. What about you, Julianna? You've been in more band camps than any of us. So what's your thing that you like to look forward to?
I'm really looking forward to the small percussion workshop with the juniors. Just seeing like little 5-year-olds with drums twice their size playing is just, you haven't lived until you've seen it. It's very cute.
It's a good time, as is panic cleaning between every time they touch it. But it's a very good time watching them get excited to hit things. And Kathryn, as our only sort of previous ex-camper, what are you excited for to come back and see?
Well, I remember when I was at band camp, it was such a crazy experience because I came in not really knowing anybody. And by the end of the week, everyone was friends. And, I looked at the sheet music the first day and was like, oh, I don't know if I can play this. But by the end, it seemed like it was good. So you really develop, make such great friends. And you also, really develop on your instrument, which is something I'm really looking forward to seeing in the campers this year.
That's awesome. look, that's a great testimonial, first off, but also that's so cool. Seeing that sort of like getting to be on the other side of that kind of stuff is always so exciting. And it's like, you don't get that opportunity a ton to sort of go through that sort of process. So that I'm glad it's cool that you're like looking forward to that. As we mentioned at the top, everyone here is a staff member. So we obviously all like what we do at Bandology, more music for more kids. So for you guys, as a sort of final question, what do you see? Why is music education important? What draws you to sort of like doing stuff like this?
So I think music education is important because you just learn so many like soft skills. Like, of course, I'm using like a buzzword because I've just done a grant on it, but like you learn like so much teamwork and organization, and like it's weird because you kind of feel like it's public speaking, even though like you literally don't talk the entire time, unless you're like a singer, obviously. But it feels like public speaking, and so you learn that, and you also learn so much patience, just not like only with others, but with yourself. Just having to be like, okay, still didn't figure that part out, but we got to be patient and keep trying to figure it out. So I think you just learn so much from doing it. That's why I think music is important.
Yeah, that patience thing is a very good like call out. You do learn that sort of ability to just like stick with itness. That is super important. What about you, Julianna? What do you what draws you to this stuff?
Well, another buzzword for you. We talk a lot about transferable skills, and you learn all that in music. You learn how to collaborate, and most importantly to me, you learn how to be both an individual and a member of a team, skills that you're going to use for your entire life. Music gives you confidence. It gives you the skills you need to thrive, really.
Very true. I know I wouldn't have done half the stuff I'd done if I hadn't like been able to do it in music first, because it's always creates for me like a very safe environment, because music kids and music in general tends to be a very supportive place. That's why I like music education. What about you, Kathryn? What's your thing?
I kind of have two reasons. The first is that I think it just really enriches your life. Like it's just, I always loved going to music class in school. It was such a fun time where you made friends and you just got to be yourself in a kind of a creative way. And I also think it's such a good way of connecting to other people who have like different cultures, or they might live on a different country than you, but everyone can kind of relate to music in a different way. And I think that's something that we need in today's world, and something that I think musicians really bring that really benefits everybody.
Yeah. There's a adage that's like music is the universal language, which I don't believe, because tons of people have different musical cultures and they don't all interact. But like there's so many wonderful ways to like learn about culture and other people through the music that they engage with. You can just see that through just like things that like hit the mainstream, like K-pop, and also like projects like Yo-Yo Ma's Silk Road, which brings artists across the entire world together to do like music, and their albums are amazing and their tours are super. Actually, have they put out an album, or am I just remembering all the YouTube videos I've watched? Thing I don't know. But yeah, no, I love the way you guys have all described what music does, and I'm really happy that like we have people who like that on our team on the operations side. Like you guys aren't necessarily doing all like you're at all our stuff, because we're always all at our stuff because we love making music, and you guys are coming to have been coming to our Waterloo workshops as well, which is super exciting. But it's so nice to be in a team that has all that stuff. So it's so cool to hear all that from you guys. And it's so good to introduce you to our audience for the first time, properly, with names and everything, and not just like a very good, headshot with a fun fact. So I'm so excited for the rest of the summer that we're going to have together. And I am so glad to introduce your audience. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed meeting part of our team. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys at work tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, Sandy.
Thanks for joining us. If you like what you heard, you can learn more about our organization at bandology.ca, which features information about music education, advocacy and research, and our Play a Gig and Bandcamp programs. Follow us on social media for more videos, performance, and interviews on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.